This is the Influencer Entrepreneurs Podcast with Jenny Melrose, where I strategize with business owners on how to grow and scale their businesses to hit their income goals. This is episode 304 of the Influencer Entrepreneurs Podcast with Jenny Melrose. Today, we're going to be diving into how to find brand contacts for sponsorships. I'm going to walk you through the process that I actually teach and take in order to work on sponsors. Now, before we do that, I want to make sure that you are aware that I have a Pitch It downsell is what I call it, because many of you know of my signature program, Pitch Perfect Pro, which teaches you the full process of pitching brands, from starting out with understanding your positioning all the way to figuring out how to put together a proposal, the long-term contracts that you can create, as well as creating culmination documents so that you can land those long-term contracts. Well, my Pitch It downsell is a smaller portion compared to this program, to the Pitch Perfect Pro. Pitch It is actually going to give you the templates that you need in order to get started. It is going to give you swipe copy, email examples of pitch. It says making sure that you really understand what goes into that pitch, and also ways that you can make sure that when it does come to pricing, you have an understanding of how to price yourself. So you can pop over, send me a DM at Jenny_Melrose, and I can send you that special. We are doing 50% off right now of Pitch It, which if you do the basic is $27. And if you do premium, it's only $47. So you're getting all the templates and video trainings that go along with it. So send me a DM. I will make sure to send that over to you so that you can grab that. All right, so let's talk about how we can actually find the brand contacts for sponsorships. Now, before we try to find the brand contacts, we need to determine what brands we are actually going to pitch. Now, in order to do that, you have to start with your positioning. You need to understand what problem you solve for your audience and what makes you unique in doing so. Once you understand that, you can then take a look at, I understand my audience, what products or services would be a good partnership for me, because my audience is going to want to know more about those products or services offered by that brand. Now, oftentimes I tell people, look at the products and services that you are already using to create your recipes, your DIY, your crafts. What are the brands that you are already using? Because that obviously is a very authentic way in which you can create content, because you're already using those products to create as your materials or as your ingredients if you're creating recipes, to create content organically. So it would make the most sense to pitch those brands in order to create that relationship for a sponsorship. So once you have an idea of your positioning and truly can understand what it is that you solve and who you are solving it for, then it's time to go through, figure out the brands, create a list. I teach that you put a spreadsheet together where you'll actually put the name of the brand there, and then we are going to contact them. Now, you're going to start off with checking out their website, because their website is going to be the best place to understand better about their social media, as well as to be able to find the email address for the person on their team that works on blogger or influencer campaigns. Now, sometimes this isn't as cut and dry and easy as it may sound. Sometimes it's as simple as going to the website, looking for media, looking for press release, looking for contact, and being able to find an email address for someone on their team that does the PR. Whereas other times you may have to click on a press release, see a new product that they're talking about, and look at the bottom of the press release to find the email address for the person that is doing the PR, and that would be the person that you would want to contact. Now, other times it's not even that simple. You have to think a little bit bigger, so that if some brands are owned by a larger umbrella company, then they usually will have a PR company that they are working for. So one of the strategies that I partake is I will look for that specific brand that I'm going after, and I'll put into Google a new product that they have launched. So let's say, for example, I'm working with Banza Pasta Company, or that's who I'm looking for a contact. I'm going to put Banza new product into Google and I'm going to see what comes up, because a lot of times when it's a new product for a company, it's a press release, it's PR, and it's not always easy and accessible on that website if they are a subsidiary of another larger company. So because of that, when you do that, it gives you an idea of who that PR company is. And then from there, you can do some digging and find that email address for someone within the PR company that may work on multiple brands. But you want to try to find the email address for that person, of course, that if that's Banza is the one we're looking for, the PR person for Banza. So now, once you start finding that email address, there's something else that I want you to put into your spreadsheet. Two more things. When you put it in there, you put the name of the brand, the email address of who you are contacting, but I also want you to put the tagline. Look for a tagline for the website. What are they talking about? I want to say when I was looking at Banza's information, it said something about great pasta that is chickpeasy because it's made from chickpeas. So they're using and trying to be cute with the language that they're using. The copy that a brand has paid for a tagline on their website is something they've paid for. They put good money into it. So if you're noticing it, that's what they want to hear back when you are pitching them, using that copy in there, showing them that you're doing your homework. Now, the other thing that you want to make sure that you do is list out all the different products that they have, because some of them have a wide array. It might be they have dry pasta, they may have frozen foods. So understand what the company, what that brand actually encompasses, so that when you're talking to them, you can articulate that and show them what would be the best fit for your audience. And then the fifth thing that I would want you to write down is what's a new product that they're pitching right now. And a lot of times that's on their website, or what's their most popular product if you can't find something that's brand new, because again, that's showing the brand that you're doing your homework. A lot of times you can find this on the website, but you can also go to Instagram and check to see what the most recent product was that they were really pushing, because that most likely is a new product that's being released. So now you heard me talk about this spreadsheet that I want you to keep track of all the brands that you're pitching, because one of the things that you need to understand when it comes to pitching is it's a process. It's not something you're going to send an email and immediately you're going to end up with a deal. You're going to need to have a follow-up process so that you can make sure that you have the right email address, that you are getting through to the person that's going to be able to make these decisions. So having a system in place for knowing who you've contacted and who has gotten back to you is going to be important in that whole pitch process, because your pitch will change based upon who you have spoken to, who has replied to your email, who has not even opened the email. So these are all things. Now, these are all things that I obviously teach inside Pitch Perfect Pro. I walk you through very strategically what this looks like. I talk you through how to know what to say when they ask you a different question, or what to do in a situation where it gets passed on, or you have to get forwarded it, or if you have to get on the phone to talk to someone, how to handle yourself. So these are all things that are very strategic, but Pitch It is what's going to get you started. A lot of people, bloggers in particular, that are getting started with pitching want to understand the process themselves of understanding how to write that pitch, making sure that it's getting out, what the process looks like, and Pitch It will get you started with that. And it's a lower cost, obviously, than my signature course, Pitch Perfect Pro. So again, you can send me a DM at Jenny_Melrose, and I will send you directly to that. You can also always hop over to my blog and go to this podcast episode, and we will have it linked in there as well. As always, I appreciate you guys so much for listening in. I recently went through and did Pitch Perfect Live 2022 for 5 days of live free training, and it was one of the funnest experiences I have had in a very long time, and it was great for those of you that did participate in it. If you did not and you missed out, make sure you keep your eyes and ears peeled, because I will be doing that program again in 2023, and it is free. So if you want to get on the wait list, we'll make sure that you do. All right, guys, until next time, I will see you all then.